What is a reason you are glad to be single?
I can sleep in the middle of the bed with the fan on if I want. I can also leave something on the table and come back 2 weeks later and it is still there.
I can do whatever I want and not feel guilty about spending time with no one.
Christmas is coming and I have no stress and it is not expensive.
I'm not a huge fan of the single life, but in the past when I've been in a relationship, I always felt like I needed to check my phone 24/7. I like being able to just chill and play video games, watch a movie, hang with friends without checking my phone consistently.
No longer being forced to hang out with their friends.
Learn to love myself without needing anyone else's words of affirmation after being single for the first time in a few years.
A lot of people I know who've ruined their lives did so over a lover. Whether trying to get one, keep them, or fighting someone else over them, relationships can be very dangerous if you're too emotionally immature.
I can do whatever I want, whenever I want without checking in with anyone. Also, no woman should have to be subjected to my toxic family.
Pia Parwakyo.
Beep freedom. I love the single life.
I'm learning to navigate the world through the lens of my own needs and desires without worrying how I'm being perceived by a partner. I do not believe I will be a good person to be in a relationship until I can do that, so I'm happy to struggle with it. Also, I really love dancing poorly to LCD sound system while my dog watches with fear and judgment in his eyes. Not that I couldn't do that before, it's just so free to do it in my own apartment alone. Edit. Thank you all for your funny, kind, and thoughtful replies. I love Reddit because of this kind of thing. Also, I know, but thanks for the awards, it's so sweet and made me feel better about the fact that I dance like a dumbass alone.
The only things stressing me are my own stressors. I don't have to help support someone else through theirs.
I was engaged but broke it off in July after putting up with a lot of disrespect from him and his family. I had quite a bit of money saved aside for our wedding, but now I can spend it on things I've wanted for a very long time. I am finally taking care of myself and learning more about who I am as an individual instead of being someone's fiancé.
My apartment is clean and neat, and most importantly, 95% empty. Edit. I didn't expect this many votes.
Because I'd rather be single than be with someone who doesn't appreciate my love and affection.
I'm naturally very empathetic and a people pleaser. It's a part of my brain that goes into hyperdrive when I'm with someone I like. It's not even conscious most of the time, but it can be exhausting. It's nice that my brain can turn that part off when I'm alone. Also, I can wake up and go to sleep at any time I want without messing up my so's sleeping patterns. And middle of the bed. And not needing to check in with his plans.
As someone who got out of a 3-year-long relationship about 4 months ago, I would say one of the biggest thing I'm glad about being single is being able to see myself clearly again. You don't realize how much being in a relationship can blind you to how you've changed, or how love can numb you to certain things. When I got out of that relationship and once the initial crying and being depressed phase ended, I slowly realized how much happier I was, and how much I've changed, some of it good and some bad, but it was like being able to see myself through a clear lens and not through a distorted one. Edit. Didn't realize this would get any notice at all. Thank you to the kind stranger who gave me my first award.
I read this article a while ago that really clarified my feelings on this. Studies show that people who are married are on average slightly happier than people who are not married. Which has been known for a long time, so people have sort of internalized this idea that marriage equals happiness. But when you break down the numbers in that, what it actually looks like is that people in happy marriages are much happier than everyone else, and people in unhappy marriages are much less happy than everyone else. So actually the slightly happier figure is pretty meaningless and just shows that slightly more marriages are happier than unhappy, and that's what that looks like when averaged. So, for those who want it, being in a good relationship is the best situation. But being single is the second best, and far better than being in a bad relationship. Also, being single is a better position to be in if you're looking for a good relationship, because being in a bad one means you have to go through the extra steps of breakup and recovery. Plus, when you're single, you're able to work on all those things about yourself that make you ready for a good relationship. So to me, it's like not the very best, but it is the second best, and that's pretty good. It's like you don't have a Jaguar but you have a Honda, and it's reliable and gets you where you need to go. And at least you're not driving car from the 70s with a leak in the fuel line and a plastic Jaguar sculpture taped on the hood. Edit. Some other Redditors found the article.
Not having to deal with partners leaving you completely unfulfilled and always putting their beep above you. Not having to argue to exist in the ways you do because their insecurities and lack of self-worth smother your joy.
I can do whatever I want whenever I want. If I want to stay up late, I can. If I want to go to sleep early, I can. If I want to sleep in, I can. If I want to wake up late, I can. If I want to buy that Xbox, PS, Nintendo, or upgrade my PC, I can. If I want to play video games, I can. If I want to watch a movie, I can. If I feel like watching TV, I can. If I feel like listening to music, I can. If I feel like reorganizing or redecorating my apartment, I can. If I want to go out to eat, I can. If I feel like cooking something at home, I can. I can choose how I use my time. I can choose how I spend my money. I can choose how I save my money. Do I feel lonely? I'll admit it, sometimes I do. But I have good friends. If I feel like hanging out with my friends, if someone wants to hang out with me, I can. If I don't feel like going out, I can stay home.
I never want to turn the key in the door and have to worry about what is going to on the other side again. I don't want to have to manage another's emotions or walk on eggshells. I love the peace that my space is mine alone. I also hate the obligations that tend to come with relationships. I don't want to attend other people's events, or buy presents for in-laws, etc. Basically, I'm selfish smiley face.
Honestly, being single allowed me to put more focus on finishing my undergrad degree, which I just did this last week. Edit. This is the first time I've been awarded on Reddit. Thank you so much.
I don't want to take into account someone else's wants and needs when making life decisions. I just graduated from college during COVID and I'm so lost, so I don't want to have a partner until I'm less lost.
I don't like spending time with people. I have one friend I see once every 2 weeks and that's enough socializing for me.
I learned who I am after I decided to stop dating. It's been 4 years being single, and I really love who I've become. I was able to establish myself, my goals, and who I want to be. Edit. Wow. Thanks for the award. You all keep being you, it's the best thing you can be.
No longer feel like I'm dragging a dead body behind me through life.
All of them. I am single for the last 10 years plus. All my money is mine. All my time is mine. All my attention goes where I want it to go, minus distractions. Hi Reddit. In my view, the planet is overpopulated, so there is no serious thought of reproduction. I just try to get fulfillment in life.
Now that I am single, no one can drink, get DUIs, use all my money to pay their fines, cheat on me, leave me, falsely accuse me abusing my children in order to not have to pay child support and sue me for divorce. So there's that.
I've had some really abusive relationships. Singleness equals safety.
Being able to save.
I can come home and unwind and not hear someone else tell me about their beat day or remind me about the dishes in the sink or the laundry or the things we need to do or places we need to go. My life is stressful enough with just me and my job in it. Another person might drive me beep right now, honestly.
No one can cheat on, abuse me.
On a day-to-day basis, I struggle less with feelings of guilt. There are things one misses out on by not being in a relationship, but not beating yourself up over a snappish reply or a thoughtless gesture towards someone you care about are not among them.
Despite the woeful lack of sex, being single means I get to spend my money on my own beep.
It's selfish, but I get to do whatever I want to do and nothing I don't. Feels good.
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more quality content every day.